All right, well, a good Sunday, everyone. Movie Albert here, and welcome to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about Alec Baldwin and the movie Rush. But before I get to that, last week I talked about Gene Hackman, one of my favorite actors of all time, who passed away this past February, and he left us with a lot of great movies. And I talked about some of my favorite movies with Gene Hackman, but there was one movie that I forgot all about, and it's one of my favorites. And I happen to have, excuse me, the laser disc of this movie, and that is Geronimo. I mean, this is a fantastic western with music by Ry Cooder, and it's a Walter Hill film that stars Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, and Jason Patric. Now, Jason Patric is terrific in it. But this is the Laserdisc that I've had since the movie came out. I think it was 1993. I have to look it up. There's the back of the Laserdisc. I mean, it's a wonderful movie. I mean, it's so well photographed, and I like Walter Hill movies, and I like this movie so much that I did not have the DVD. I don't think it's available on Blu-ray. It's over here, but I found it on Amazon, a DVD. So now I have the DVD of Geronimo. I mean, the Laserdisc still looks terrific. I watched part of it the other day, but there's the DVD of Geronimo. Had a good friend who worked on this movie. It was filmed in Moab, Utah. And he took a picture of Robert Duvall on the set. And I'll show that. I'm going to do a podcast on Walter Hill and his movies because, Walter Hill made some great movies. One of my favorites is 1492. But this is a wonderful Western. And like I've mentioned many times before, I've been very partial to Western movies. And this is it's wonderful. Anyway, that's Geronimo. And I'm going to complete watching it probably sometime this week, and I'm going to do a story on Walter Hill and his westerns. All right, but today I'm going to talk about this guy right here in the movie Rust, Alec Baldwin. That's an early picture of Alec Baldwin, of course. Say what you will. He's very outspoken, but he's just a wonderful actor. Now, he was born April 3rd, 1958. And of course, known for his leading supporting roles in, a variety of genres, from comedy to drama. He received numerous accolades, including he's won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and 8 Screen Actor Guild Awards, as well as nominations for an Academy Award and a BAFTA Award and Tony Award. Excuse me. As a member of the Baldwin family, his film career began with a string of roles in 1988 films, including Beetlejuice, the first one. The first Beetlejuice is great. The second one, to me, was not very good. He was in A Working Girl, Married to the Mob, playing Jack Ryan in The Hunt for Red October, which is a terrific war movie from 1990. He was an Oscar nominated for playing a casino manager in The Cooler in 2003. I've never seen that. Sorry about that. That's Sonny. He's looking out the window. Let's see here. That was in 2003. And the BAFTA nominated for playing a charming ex-husband in It's Complicated in 2010. I never saw that. I didn't see that one. Let's see here. He was in one of my favorite movies, and he was only in this movie for a very short period of time. That's Glengarry Glen Ross in 1992. He was in The Royal Tenenbaums, a Wes Anderson movie, in 2001. Along Came Polly in 2004. He was in The Aviator, He's also in, that was in 2004, The Departed, 2006, Blue Jasmine, 2013. That's a Woody Allen movie, as well as two Mission Impossible films. And I forgot about that. Rogue Nation in 2015 and Fallout in 2018. And from 2017 to 2021, he voiced the titular role in Boss Baby, the film franchise. From 1999 to 2003, and he narrated the dub stories for seasons 5 and 6 of Thomas and Friends, and I don't remember that. All right, now from 2006 to 2013, Baldwin received critical acclaim, starring alongside Tina Fey and Jack Donaghy on the NBC sitcom 30 Rock. Now, I did like that show. I used to watch it. Winning 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and 7 Screen Actor Guild Awards for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. Baldwin also hosted the series on Saturday Night Live in the sketch series, a record of 17 times since 1990. And that's a record for Saturday Night Live. And there he played, he won critical acclaim for his portrayal of Donald Trump on the show, of course. A role he won him his 3rd Primetime Emmy Award in 2017 and nominations in 2018 and 2021. So, Alec Baldwin, say what you will. I mean, he's like anybody. He's got problems, I suppose, with their life. But he's a terrific actor. He's always been one of my favorites. Alec Baldwin, he and his siblings were raised Catholic. They're Irish, French, and English ancestry. His father, Baldwin, is descended from the Mayflower passenger John Harlan. And through this line, that is the 13th generation of his family born in North America and 14th generation living in North America. So Alec Baldwin, he's got a lot of history behind his work. Also, he made his Broadway debut in Loot in 1986 and was later nominated for a Tony Award for Best Actor in a play of his portrayal of Stanley Kowalski in A Streetcar Named Desire in 1992. And he returned to Broadway in 20th Century 2004, Orphans in 2013, and he hosted the Academy Awards in 2010 and the game show Match Game from 2016 to 2021. He was also a columnist for the Huffington Post, if I can say that. All right, that's the history of Alec Baldwin, basically. But today I want to talk about a movie that is not without controversy, and that is Rust. Now, we all know the story of Rust, basically. It gained media attention for a shooting incident in 2021, wherein cinematographer Helena Hutchinson was accidentally killed when a live round was discharged from a prop revolver that Baldwin was using in the movie. This terrible accident. Baldwin and his wife Hilary and their 7 children are the focus of the reality show The Baldwins too at one time. But Rust, it had a very short theatrical run last May. A lot of theaters didn't want to play it, which stands to reason. So it was released on Blu-ray, which I got a copy through Amazon. And so here's a picture of Alec in the movie. Now, it's filming in 2021 in New Mexico. Alec Baldwin was handed a gun that, unknowns to him, contained live ammunition. And when he rehearsed a shootout scene with the gun, he accidentally shot the cinematographer, Helena Hutchinson, killing her, which is very, very sad. And the bullet actually passed through her and struck the director, Souza, wounding him. The Baldwin in the movie's armor, Hannah Reed, were charged with involuntary manslaughter. Charges against Baldwin were eventually dismissed on procedural grounds. And Reed was found guilty and sentenced to 18 months imprisonment. The first assistant director, David Halls, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor in charge of a negligent use of a deadly weapon. It's just a very sad thing that happened, and I don't condone any of that at all. I'm here to talk about the movie Rust, which it's a wonderful Western. I mean, despite everything that happened, I didn't know what to expect when I watched the movie, and it's. I mean, I've been a fan of westerns, like I mentioned, but it's really good. It's the story of an orphan boy who journeys to Mexico with his grandfather Baldwin after being sentenced to hang for an accidental killing, and has long been overshadowed by the death of the cinematographer, of course, Helena Hutchinson, October of 2021. Here's another scene from the Western. The cinematography is wonderful. It's all shot with natural lighting. When they're outdoors at night with a campfire, when they're in a building or whatever, it's all shot with natural lighting. So it's got some great co-stars too. A lot of people probably you've never heard of, but here's Baldwin, of course, on the right, and then the other guy is a bounty hunter. Now, what happens when they're traveling from their place in Wyoming where they shot? Anyway, they're traveling to Mexico because Baldwin, who turns out to be this boy's grandfather, wants to save him from being hung for the accidental shooting. What happened was the kid was raised as an orphan, and he was trying to protect his younger brother. And so he was raising, cattle and chickens and things on the farm to eat. And a coyote was actually trying to, kill his livestock. So he went out one day to shoot the coyote. But what happened was he accidentally shot a guy and killed him. And then he got charged with murder. And so that's how that all got started. And here is the kid right here. I have to look his name up, but he's a terrific actor. And it's weird because it was not weird, but it's funny that this movie will not get its due justice because it is really a good movie because of what happened to the cinematographer. But that's the kid there. He's awfully good in it. And I think it's one of his first roles. And I think he did some television stuff to when he started out. And it's beautifully shot, like I said. There he is in the courtroom when they find him guilty of killing the man. Beautiful photography. This is the ninth scene, and the whole story takes place of these bounty hunters chasing them to capture Alec Baldwin because he's killed a lot of people in his past too, and they want the kid because he shot a guy, and he didn't mean to. It was an accident, like I said. He's the sheriff. He's the main leader of the bounty hunter after Alec Baldwin and the kid. Wonderful, wonderful actor. And we have a group shot of the cast here. And let's see here. Now, like I said, it's very sad what happened to the cinematographer, and that will always weigh on people's mind. But despite what happened, the film producers decided to finish the film because they had money invested in, of course. Let's see here. It's Helena Hutchinson, who was a 42-year old and upcoming cinematographer when she was killed. Now, the director, Joel Souza, said that a lot of really good people worked really hard finishing the movie to honor her. So they finished the movie to honor Helena, who was accidentally killed. Here's Alec Baldwin on the set. I mean, Alec Baldwin is a good actor. Regardless of what you say, he's a terrific actor. Will his career continue? Who knows? But he was really good in this movie. Like I said, it's beautiful, beautiful photography. Okay. And Alec in the movie, he's very hard-nosed. He's very, you don't really fool around with him. Can be very brutal in his actions on people. But he got that way because of his past. His family was killed. And this is just not shown in the movie. It's just mentioned. But he's very hard on himself and life. And he just wants to save, which is his grandson, who has been shot. Some great stuff. Now, some reviews of the movie I saw on IMDb, and I like this review here. This reviewer said, "What a strange and gloomy and deeply beautiful film this is," and it is. It's absolutely stunning to watch. It's filmed in CinemaScope and it looks great on my theater screen, and it's just wonderful. Another reviewer said, let me see here. It's a sad irony that the best thing about Rust is its atmospheric cinematography. And let's see, this one guy here said, there's an elegant severity to the natural elements that share the fame with the movie's characters, manifested in silhouettes against a cloudy sky, delicate snowfalls, shafts of light in dark interiors, and crisp air filled with smoke and dust, which is true. It's a beautiful film to watch. Absolutely beautiful. I just wished that nothing would have happened to the cinematographer, Helena, and the movie would have really, I think, done well at the box office. I just thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It's got some rough scenes in it because it's a Western. I mean, they don't hold back with gunfire and people being killed. But it really, the movie, I think, probably in the future will hold up well. It's kind of like, when The Wizard of Oz came out, it was hated by the critics. People just didn't know what to think about that movie. But today it's acclaimed, the Wizard of Oz is an all-time classic. And I think over a period of time, Rust will become one of the greatest Westerns ever made. And I honestly do believe that. It's well acted. It's well cast. The score is phenomenal. It's well written, a great script. And I just love the whole look of the movie. I think over a period of time, like I said, I think the movie will do very well. I hope so. I have the Blu-ray. I showed it last time. It's in there. I don't have it with me now, but I've got it. in the other room. But it's available. You can buy it, I guess, at your local video store, order it from Amazon. If you're curious about the movie and you appreciate good cinema, I think you should watch the movie. It's Despite what happened, it's an entertaining and well done film. And what I do like about the movie, well, it's got a great score. At the end of the movie, when the credits start, what is very moving is they dedicate the whole movie to Helena Hutchinson. There she is, working. And all proceeds from the sale of the Blu-ray and anything to do with the movie goes to her family. It does not go to the producers. It doesn't go to the film company. It goes to her family. So if you buy the Blu-ray or the DVD, the proceeds from that go to her family, which I think is awesome. And when the movie's over, then it fades to black and the credits come up, the first thing you see is this film is dedicated to Helena Hutchinson, it's very moving. And the music there is just so good. And I'm glad that the producers are giving all the funds to her family. It's well deserved. It's something that should have never happened. Never happened. Now, whether you think Alec should have been charged or whatever, I'm not going to get into that. I don't know. That's up to the court system when they made their decision. But I'm just talking about Alec Baldwin as an actor. I'm not talking about it's a tragedy, but I'm not going to dwell on that because it's just something that should have not have ever happened. And I've worked on movies. I worked on a lot of movies. I was a dailies operator guy for many years, working on movies. So I've been around sets, and I know there's many different people that work on movies, and the actors and the director and the producer all depend on other people to do the job. And so you have to work with other people, and some people may not live up to what they're supposed to do. Maybe they make a mistake, which is just what happened. For the life of me, I don't understand how Live Ammunition got on the set anyway. But that's not for me to decide because I question it. But it's like I said, it's not for me to decide on that. But like I said, a tragedy, but a good movie came out of the tragedy, and I just thoroughly enjoyed watching the movie. And it's the kind of movie that I'll watch many times more because it's such a good movie. So, like I said, Alec Baldwin, of all the Baldwin brothers, he's the best. He's the one that turned out to be the good actor, and he's got a great narration voice. When he's done some narration on documentaries or movies or whatever, he does a great job. Like I said, it's Rush is a wonderful movie, and if you want to support Helena and her family, by all means, either rent the movie or maybe, I don't know whether it's streaming now or not. It could be. I haven't looked. I just have the Blu-ray, but it's a wonderful movie, and that's what I wanted to come in here and talk about today. I didn't want to dwell on everything, but I just thought this was a wonderful, wonderful movie, and so that's it. I just wanted to come in here and talk this afternoon about the movie Rust and the story of an orphan boy as he journeys across Mexico with his grandfather, played by Alec Baldwin. Wonderful movie. And I love this review, like I mentioned before. What a strange, gloomy, and deeply beautiful film. And it truly is. But I appreciate you joining me here for this little chat about Alec Baldwin and the movie Rust. And I'm going to come in here next week and probably talk about Walter Hill. Now, before I leave, I'm on, just going to read this. You can follow me on those places right there. YouTube, it's Al's Place. Twitch, it's Movie Albert. Facebook, I have a page called Film and Movie Enthusiast. And on Letterboxd, I'm Movie Albert, where I do reviews on Letterboxd. And I just did a movie review for The Wages of Fear, the original one from 1955, I do believe. I just reviewed that on Letterboxd. But if you follow me, I'll follow back. I'm trying to build an audience on YouTube, Twitch, and and Letterboxd. Like I said, I review movies on there. I reviewed Weapons. I saw that one. But you'll see if you go to Letterboxd. Twitch, Movie Albert, YouTube, simply Al's Place. So if you want to follow me, I do appreciate that. So, all right. Well, listen, thanks for joining me. I just want to come in here and talk about the movie Rust. And it's a terrific movie. I advise you to check it out. And leave your comments if you've seen the movie and you don't care to see the movie. Leave a comment there on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. But yeah, just let me know. There's some people that will refuse to watch the movie, and I completely get it. I completely understand that. But like I said, I'm a movie enthusiast. I watch movies all the time. The first job I ever had, I told you before, was in a movie theater as an usher when I was 16 years old. And I've been around movie theaters all my life. I was a projectionist here in Atlanta at the Terra, the Plaza, the Midtown, which is now Landmark Cinemas, I do believe. I worked at a theater in Lawrenceville. So I've been around. And of course, radio and television was my career when I worked at Turner Broadcasting for a long time. But I've always been a movie enthusiast and movie collector. I have a lot of movie posters I sell on eBay, and I love that whole concept of watching movies and collecting memorabilia from that genre. So anyway, have yourself a great rest of the day, and I hope to see you again soon, and we'll talk. And check out the movie Rust. It's good.